Guys, small school players don't work out in the NFL, but that's fine because we draft them late enough where we don't expect them to work out. And when they do, I mean, sometimes you come across a Darnell Mooney. Sometimes you come across a Diontae Johnson. Sometimes this happens, and I may have just found that guy this year. Guys, the Wolves are actually winning right now. And they've won not very many games at all. So that's good. Isaiah McKoy. Now, fellas, I have tried absolutely everything. I mean, I have scoured the internet top to bottom. I have DM'd the man himself on Instagram to no avail. This guy doesn't have an age listed. I think he's 19. That's my best guess. And if he's 19, that gives him a very, very good breakout. Like an 18 and change breakout, which is pretty freaking elite. And if that's the case, he comes in as an 18 and something year old and is third on the team in receiving yards and second in touchdowns with a line of 42, 423, and 3, which is very solid. But then the following year. Actually, wait. Pause. The first two players on the receiving totem pole as an 18-year-old freshman, presumably, was about 600 yards and 500 yards, and then he had about 400 yards. So he was not too far behind, and he had a couple touchdowns. So that's a very impressive season as a freshman, even at Kent State, okay? He's from Kent State, by the way, if you didn't know. And then as a sophomore, he leads the team in every statistical category with 56, 872, and 8. The second leading receiver was just 570 yards. So he is dominating this team, garnering almost all of the offense as Kent State's primary alpha. And then in 2020, Kent State plays just 4 games in the COVID-abbreviated season, and Mckoy puts up a 25, 455, and 5 line in just 4 games. An absolutely incredible dominant season in the short span of time. And get this, the second and third leading receiver on the team put up 475 and 3. So McKoy accounted for a larger percent of the market share, dominator-wise, than the second and third receiver combined as a senior. So we don't have very much data on this guy. I mean, we don't have his age, blah, 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 but we do know. He broke out as an 18, 19-year-old freshman. He comes in, is absolutely dominant as a sophomore, and as a senior, he is better market share wise than the second plus third receiver on the entire team, okay? He gathered 60 plus special team yards as a sophomore and a junior, and at 6'3", 200 as a taller guy. That's very unicornish. Like, you don't see guys that are 6'3" putting up special team yards. And what that says to me is that he was the most dynamic player on the team with the ball in his hands, and they wanted to get it to him. So that is a very good testament to his talent. Also, he has a freshman breakout and a 38.2% dominator and a 31% target share. So that's very good because those come in the 76th percentile and 89th percentile respectively. So he's pretty dominant on a market share wise, target share wise, and an 18.2 yards per reception in his final season. Adequate long speed film wise. We don't have numbers on him. 6'3", 200 with a 25 BMI, so a little bit slimmer. I'm a BMI guy. I don't want to call my guy slim, but at 6'3", with the dynamism that he displayed, that's kind of cool. With the early production that we saw, with the early breakout, maybe age 18, who knows, and the late career dominance with him going out in 4 games, putting up over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, there's something to him. There was nothing but excellence on his profile. I mean, he ticks like every box. He's tall, he was dynamic, he was productive in the early part of his career, he was dominant late, in the late part of his career. He's an early declare. I can't speak. The only thing is, he didn't go to a big school. I mean, he commanded all of his offense. I mean, look at the dominator target share. He was a big yards perception guy. He was dynamic. He had everything he wanted except the school. And give me a guy like this over a guy with an average profile from a USC. No, I'm not. I like Amon-Ra more, but like the sentiment's there, you know. I'll take a guy like this over a guy with an average profile from a bigger school any day, because you can't change the competition that you're playing against unless you transfer, right? Like, we've only seen him dominate his competition, and it's not his fault that these guys sucked or may not have sucked. He was dominant either way. So Isaiah McKoy, a very interesting name. I fucking hate when people say that. Like, there's like just certain like catchphrases, but this is a very interesting. No, it's not. Like, just shut up. Anyways, McKoy was very productive at an early age. He was dynamic. He has adequate long speed, adequate size, late career production, a dynamic. He has everything that you want except the school. So go ahead and take a stab on McKoy later in the draft. I mean, if you're in the 4th, 5th round of rookie drafts, he's the guy that you're going to want to take over a Larry Roundtree. Okay, he's always the guy I come back to because he's so average. But a Larry Roundtree receiver prospect, something like that. Just go ahead and take McKoy because he could become the next Darnell Mooney, the next Diontae Johnson, or Corey Davis. No, probably not because he was draft capital. But McKoy should garner maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th round draft capital. And if that happens, I mean, go ahead and take a shot at him because this dude has everything that you want besides the school. So, Isaiah McKoy.